This is Song to the Radio.
Welcome to BLTN Radio, music good for the soul. I'm your host, DJ BLTN, and you're now tuned into Volume 2 of our very own BLTN Radio podcast. Now, today's guest is somewhat multifaceted. You may have heard him as Lockdown Jackson, maybe even Downtown Justin Brown. Perhaps my favorite, Master Brown. Why my favorite? Because I coined it, damn it. Little bias. Besides, LDJ makes absolutely no sense to no one, including the one who donned it himself. That moniker, of course. Downtown Brown would have been more relevant pre-pandemic era, so yeah, there it is. Well, unlike the late great MF Doom, he does not own a series of varied styles, just sunglasses and footwear. And he is still the same singular entity, Mr. All Black Everything, Mr. Sensory Issues, Mr. Sunglass Mafia, yes.
If you know, you know.
Let's give a warm welcome to Master Brown. What up?
Master Brown is in the building. What's up, boppers?
Word up. So, Sunglass Mafia, a.k.a. Sunglasses Anonymous, a.k.a. I want a walk-in sunglass hut. People want to know, when did this become a thing? What are you hiding, sir? What's with the sunglasses?
It's just a thing. So I'm all about my style, fashion, how I look, carry myself the right way, and sunglasses the ultimate accessory, so I have plenty.
Plenty indeed. Got enough for you and yours, for damn sure.
Facts.
Facsimile.
I could go on forever. I got plenty.
Let's go. We got time.
I mean, where do we want to start? I got black. I got mirrored sunglasses. I got red sunglasses. I got that all covered. I guess that's how I got the Sunglass Mafia moniker.
When did this begin?
It's a good question. I can't remember. I've been doing this for a minute. I would say it would date back to probably high school. I've always had sunglasses on in high school. It just became a thing. Lots of friends of mine in high school like to graph.
Did you wear them in class, sir?
I did not. But my friends like to graph, and my graphing name was Shade, so they would tag it for me, but I did not graph. Disclaimer.
They would tag it for you. Does that mean you did not participate in the arts of graffiti?
I did not. Guilty. I did cut class a few times to join them, but that's about it.
He cut class to watch with the sunglasses.
Grades were still on point, though. That's all that mattered. Dodged all the truancy cops.
And what was perhaps your first pair of sunglasses? Were they like 3D movie sunglasses? Just curious.
That's a good question. I can't remember. I mean, I just counted not too long ago. I was up to like 70. So you want me to remember the first pair? That's tough, but I have plenty.
He said 70. I think they're in boxes.
They are. I got them stacked. I actually got this nice sunglass case where I can put 5 in one box. It's perfect. It's awesome.
It's a thing, yo. It's definitely a thing. Sunglasses Anonymous, for sure. All right, so let's backspin. So Master Brown, right? He and I go back a little over a decade now when the bromance first started at a previous employer that will not get named. But when back at the office, I approached him for a key to the electric room, and in turn, he pleaded for my friendship.
Wait, you got to tell him what the key is, though. Let them know what the key was.
The key was a letter opener, also used as a weapon in certain horror movies.
Because we were really classy.
Stay classy, New York. So, so this friendship began then. You know, as I said, he pleaded for my friendship, and I figured, why not? He looks like a good kid. He knew I was going places.
We're gonna agree to disagree on this one,
and the rest is history. So all jokes aside, the years that followed after this man and I, he really became my best friend. We traveled, we partied together with the best of them. Probably all
on
this
past tense, we still travel and do all of that.
Yeah, pandemic life is a little rough. I'm not trying to have a Q-tip waste upside my nose, yo. So we traveled and partied together with the best of them. More on that later and perhaps another podcast. One thing that he always knew he can count on about me was the damn good food spots and even better music selection, right? So even before BLTN Radio was like a thought sperm sitting up in my brain.
Whoa. He got excited, ladies and gentlemen.
So I had this wild music collection that was always a thing that I had, no matter what I did in life, right? As I said in the first podcast, his only complaint was that I didn't have anything that he calls current or familiar.
Never anything current. He's actually a little older than me. We won't give out ages, but I'm the younger version.
That's correct. So, we differ in musical taste a bit, probably more specifically in the 90s. Even though he's not a DJ yet, we're working on that. He's always been around music, around good music.
Shout out to ENS. He offered to teach me, so.
Oh, wow. I thought I did that, too.
Not recently, not as of late. I'm still waiting for those lessons, sir.
Yo, better late than never, bro. BLTN.
I like that. I like that. Clever. I like it.
But having said that, he's always been around good music. Even before me, somehow his ear always surprises me when he busts out lyrics on stuff from like the 70s, from like my grade school. I'm like, yo, what's going on here?
I wish I could explain that. I really can't explain that. It's just a thing. I don't even know where I heard half these songs at. I just remember lyrics.
This is true. This is true. Man also has earmuffs, by the way. So he doesn't have hats per se, but he's also a earmuff rocker, which is very, very perplexing. Perhaps that's
Leave my
how
earmuffs alone. So if your ears are warm, that's all that matters. That's it. Disclaimer: I don't
it's
do
a vibe,
hats.
I guess.
I don't do
know.
hats. Hold on, wait. Let's run this back. So how long have we known each other?
I think it's about at least 10 years, man. I want to say 2010, so 11.
That's pretty
We're
good.
in
Impressive.
2021 right now.
That's
so.
my second longest relationship. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that last one, he got insurance on that ring. Best decision
Got
ever.
all my money back. That's all that matters.
Shout out to Ring Insurance. No diggity, no doubt.
Back to the music.
Indeed. So what I may have given him in sound, he certainly gave me a better sense of style. It's amazing all the things you could do with black, off black, semi-black, not too black.
It's never enough black.
Never
All black,
enough black.
everything.
Colors, that is.
Black on black.
Black everything. Nah, but for real, I did give into a little bit more of a trendy vibes over the past few years. Not a full-blown lane shift, probably like 9%, but still it counts, right?
It's good enough. It's good enough. I'll take it.
So what say you, sir? What else? What you got?
So let me tell you a little bit about Master Brown and how I got into music. So there's this floating dance cruise that I went on about 8 years ago in 2013. And it's kind of ironic how I got on this cruise. I bought a Honda. Damn, I've had a few Hondas. I'm trying to remember which one that was. But I believe that was my 2005 all-black coupe. And the kid I bought it off of was around my age. Exchanged information. I bought the car in Jersey. I live in New York. He was like, let's exchange information. So got him on Facebook. He posted this crazy-looking festival. Mind you, I don't know anything about any of this at this point. I was curious, so I hit him up like, what is this? It looked exciting. I seen costumes, seen music, half-naked chicks, like DJs who was on beaches. So I went, probed a little bit, found out some more information. Following year, I got on this cruise. It's called Groove Cruise. Shout out to Groove Cruise and all my GC fam out there. But I got on this and fell in love with electronic music. Now, Master Brown's from the BX, so I did not grow up around this music at all. That was the beginning pretty much of the end and how I'm sitting here right now in Blatant Studios.
It was like a Comic-Con on a damn ship.
Actually, let's talk about how I got Blatant on the ship. He enjoyed the first 2 days. Why don't you tell him about the rest of your experiences, sir?
How about day and a half? We'll start with that.
It was 2 days. He got a good solid 2 days.
It's a lot, yo. 96 hours, doons. That's a lot, even for me, bro. But you know what? I will say this. Groove Cruise did spawn a lot of good-hearted people. They do consider themselves family. I do consider some of them as family. So shout out to the Groove Cruise folks. What is it on it? Like its 12th year at this point?
Yeah, I think it's about 12 or 13 years. So, fun fact, I've been on 6 already.
Yeah, Groove Cruise was definitely a vibe. In fact, that is how I met Stella. Stella and I were cabin mates. We were the only two sane ones in a small stateroom. Never recommended, by the way, to shove 4 grown-ass hairy men in a damn stateroom.
Mind you, that was Stella's second cruise. The first cruise, much better experience. Second cruise, not so much, but he enjoyed the first one.
Me and Stella were absolutely in sync in terms of our displeasure.
Let's put it this way. They were the first ones off the cruise ship.
Yo,
I think they left with the DJs.
Yeah,
Do I remember that correctly?
Facts. Yeah, it was so real. It was 6:58, and we had our luggage, and we were marching the fuck out of that. And we were literally behind like probably 3 of the DJs on that lineup. And it was like, okay, let's hit land.
Not
we
everybody
out.
can hang, guys. Not everybody can hang.
Team No Sleep, rest in peace.
No comment. I'm going to leave that one alone.
You know what? I'm always down to check out the pre and post Groove Cruise parties, that's for sure.
It'll always hold
Miami.
a special place in my heart, though. Like, it's how I got into electronic music. Like I said, growing up in the Bronx, we did not listen to this, so it always holds a special place in my heart.
Right next to the sunglasses.
Always, always. Never leave one without them. I got a pair of glasses on right now, FYI. They're not sunglasses, but they're always on my face.
They're weird. They're like blue light. I don't understand. I don't know.
Blue light. You got it right the second time around. Blue light.
This is like a millennial thing. I'll never understand. So anyway, let's get a little bit more into the music. Right, that was a good segue. So the DJ team just came off of a monument this week. I know that's not really a word, but it should be, right?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. I'm gonna coin that #monumentous. Starting with the 4th installment of A Tribe Called House, which was my first time broadcasting live from DJ ENS's Enchanting Studios.
Shout out to ENS.
Yes. Everyone needs sound.
That drop though. Anybody heard any of the blatant sets? Listen out for that drop. It's very different kind of sound. Let's put it that way. No pun intended.
Word. Fun fact about that, I actually crafted that sound drop. Took a little bit of creativity. You can find, believe it or not, everybody needs sound. A hell of a lot easier than you can everyone needs sound. Anyway, that was a pretty good little editing thing that I did there.
No shade to ENS and DJ Blatant, but everybody knows Mr. Blue is my favorite.
Ooh. So, truth be told about that set, the Tribe Called House 4.0, I did not go into that set doing Tribal House throughout the night. That was not my intention. But you know what? I followed his lead. He was hosting me. And I think it came out pretty goddamn dope, to be honest with you.
Tribal's one of my favorites. I thought it was great. I enjoyed it.
I mean, I'm definitely good with my Tribal. I just didn't get anything new, particularly for that set. But he brought it out of me, and I really look forward to back-to-backs. Those I get up for. We haven't done a lot of those.
Jump in here? One thing you need to know about DJ Blatant is he doesn't have to look for music for that set. This guy's collection is insane. He digs and digs and digs constantly.
Dig dug.
So he kills me when he says, "Oh, I didn't dig for this. I didn't look for this." You don't have to.
But and I appreciate the love right there, bro. But it's like I like to have refreshing stuff, right? I think it's like fashion, right? So you get a certain level of enjoyment wearing certain sunglasses, probably for the 20th time, right? But that fresh pair, right? What's that fresh pair feel like, right?
It's a great feeling. That's why I keep buying more. So you hit the nail on the head. He's figured it out, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what it is. We'll get into the foot game next time. The footwear game,
next podcast.
Next podcast, because that's a whole nother half-hour discussion we get into right there. This boy got some crazy stuff going on.
Off-White, shout out to Off-White Virgil Abloh for those that know.
I do not. So that set was dated Tuesday, September 21st, 2021. That was last Tuesday. Definitely go check that one out. Tribe Called House 4.0, DJ ENS, and myself, DJ Blatant. Master Brown was in the house for that one, although he was called something else. Same dude, same shades.
I got a lot of different names. Multi-talented, ladies and gentlemen, multi-talented.
Multifaceted. Hey. So, about last week, right? Then we went a little hard. Right after that, Red and Meth tributes, right? Phenomenal.
Mad I missed out, but I caught some bits and pieces. I like what I heard.
But if you miss it, you can go to BLTNRADIO.com and check it out. Shameless plug. So I brought in METHOD Wednesday, while Mr. Blue hit us with Red Mania. So September 22nd and 23rd, respectively. Again, you can find these delightful ear candies up on BLTNRADIO.com. Faux show. So with 200 plus mixes to enjoy on BLTNRADIO.com, can you think of one or two, maybe 18, I don't know, that come to mind as standouts, and why?
On the way here, I was listening to one set, never heard it. Cannot lie to you guys, I have not heard it. I do like a lot of DJ Blatant sets, I will say that. But this one I have not heard, and unfortunately I didn't make it. But it was a pool party set.
Pool.
Good times. Upstate. I guess you can consider Carmel, New York, upstate. So it was upstate. He had a pool party. I usually go to these, but I missed this one. It's all right. I'll catch the next one. But this set was pretty fire. I heard the first 45 minutes. Started off with the 90s. Got a little more modern in the way between, and I enjoyed it. So I definitely will be listening to that on the way back home, the rest of that set. So I advise you guys to catch that. I think it was in July or something like that, right?
Yeah, July of this year. Faux cheesy. Did some pool party sets last year, too, and I think the year before. But
and that flyer,
this
though.
is recent.
The flyer, though.
Hey.
Talk about the flyer game.
Let's go. That's actually a perfect segue. So now I know you're a style aficionado, right? I think you can go with that. So alongside of the music, there's the flyers.
Appreciate all these accolades. Keep it going.
I'm hosting you here. That's how we do. There are flyers, designs for the show concepts that come to mind, which I do put together myself. I mean, I've never been known to be a designer by any means, but you know what? With this whole Blatant Radio concept, I surprised myself a lot with some of the things, and this is one of them. I pride myself with the flyers. So, definitely go give me feedback for the ones you see out there.
You got to tell them where to go for the feedback. Check those out on Instagram.
No doubt. We'll get into that. Got it in the closing credits. But do you have any particular favorites? Any honorable mentions? Any flyers that resonated with you?
Definitely the Aaliyah flyer that was recently created. Like, we celebrated her passing.
August 25th, month
we
ago.
celebrated that, right? Rest in peace. And
20th.
that flyer really, really hit home. So I definitely appreciated that one. Like, baby girl, I'm an avid fan of hers. I actually shed a few tears when she passed. I'm not even going to lie. She was seemed like a beautiful person. Her music, her voice was angelic, and I really always vibed with Aaliyah. So rest in peace.
Word, it's been 20 years since she passed, man. And I always remember that night. It was a late summer night, August 25th, 2001. And that same night, me and my boy, shout out to Ant from Virginia, me and my boy.
Undo hard.
Yes, sir, old governments.
They didn't have to know all of that.
We were at Madison Square Garden seeing Maxwell, believe it or not. Two grown dudes, yes, going to see Maxwell. We straight as a mofo, too, so don't get it twisted. But we came out there, and as soon as we left, so for those of you who are in New
Everybody likes
York,
a little Maxwell, right? It's all good.
Maxwell's that shit,
Get
man.
in
I
your
saw him
feels.
3
Get
times.
in your feels, DJ Blaine. Get in your
Word.
feels.
I will hit the high notes. Don't tempt me.
Let's not do that.
So when we left the Maxwell set, it was relatively early, and for those of you who are in New York, we drove to the South Street Seaport. Just get into it. I mean, I was 21 at the time. We were young, right? Young pups. So on the way to the seaport, we walking behind these girls, and they were talking about Leah passing, and a name like Aaliyah, that's not like your regular. You don't really have people named Aaliyah. So we heard
With
it.
2 A's. Don't forget the 2 A's.
Word, Aaliyah, which has meaning in Arabic, and I covered that in her set in the intro.
Didn't know that. Another fun fact. Full of fun facts tonight, boppers.
Show. Blackground Records. Her uncle actually owns Blackground Records. A lot of history I know about her. But anyway, that night when the girls mentioned her name, her passing, we heard it a couple more times from people in the seaport, and we just cashed it in that night. It was overwhelming. I was heartbroken because I was probably the biggest Timbaland fan ever. At that time, you couldn't convince me.
Shout out to Timbo.
Word, Tim, Missy, Genuine, like everything that they were doing at that time, I soaked it in. Like I got drunk off of all that. And Aaliyah was in the forefront, She complimented his sound so well, and for her to pass so early and on the upward, strive. Her third album was out. She was just doing movies.
And right after that, Rock the Boat. Wasn't she doing that?
She
Rock
was filming
the Boat
Rock
video?
the Boat in the Bahamas. Yeah,
how angelic was that video? It was like crazy how
it's hard to watch that video actually with that.
she passed. I think she was on filming that video, I believe.
Yep.
So
Her and her crew.
it's crazy.
Very sad, but I made sure that once I started doing music, I always had that date in my head. I didn't have to look it up. I know that date forever. So August 25th, 2001, Aaliyah passed. But go check out that mix. I would like to think that she would be proud, and hopefully y'all will be proud of the tribute that I gave her.
All right, but let's kick it up a notch. It's
Yeah.
getting a little depressing
Yeah.
right now, so we'll kick it up a
For
notch.
sure. And you know what? We celebrated her life, right? That's what that mix was about. It wasn't sad. It was a celebration. That was dope. And that's what we're doing tonight. We celebrating music. We celebrating life.
Speaking of music, the Full House sets, though.
Yes.
Master Brown's favorites. Well, I got a lot of favorites.
Let's
Tribal. I love house. I'm recently got into techno. I went to a techno festival in Detroit. Fell in love with techno about 4 years ago. So that was always good. Trying to get over my band over here, DJ Blatant, up on the techno,
Yeah,
but
that's
he's
a
not
stretch.
with it. He's
That's a
not with
stretch.
it. He needs vocals, guys. But the techno is definitely my shit as of late. And back to that Full House. So the Full House 5.0, I believe, was the last one. That was another goodie.
Word up. Yeah. So any more flyers? Any more art? Or are we good?
I think that covers most of them. I do like the early 80s soul flyer. I like that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's a little predates me a little bit, because I'm a young joint. But I do like that flyer.
So how about any other stylistic topics you want to get into, bro? Anything else you want to sprinkle in there?
Nah, we'll leave the sneaker game for later, but the sneaker game is on point. Always got to have a nice pair of shades, a nice pair of sneakers, and the rest is history. And don't forget the black on black, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget.
Off black, semi black, glossy black, not quite black. So many variances of black, ladies and gentlemen.
You have no idea.
But I don't think he's that. You don't buy one shelf one, right? You don't rock one shelf one. You're not on that level, right?
Nah,
I know people like that. I'm
not
like,
at
really?
all. Not at all. Not at all.
Still paying your rent too, bro?
All day, every day.
Word. You know what, man? Master Brown is also a traveling man, right?
Ibiza though.
Tell us
Wanna
about some
talk
of your
about
favorite places.
traveling.
Tell us about some of your favorite spaces and places
This is
out
about
there.
music. I recommend everybody go to Ibiza. So Ibiza is a great place to be. I call it an adult Disneyland. Just anything you want is on that island. I'm talking about if you're into partying, if you're into drinking, if you're into beautiful women, if you're into attractive men, whatever you into, boppers is on this island, and it's just an amazing place. I had a great time. Wish I spoke any of the European languages. I met some nice looking women out there. I do not speak German, so that was a fail. That didn't go too far. But the Spaniards are nice. I know a little bit of Spanish, so that kind of helped out. But I definitely recommend Ibiza.
Body language, universal.
All types of music. I need to learn a little more body language when I'm out there. Shout out to all my Europeans, though. But Ibiza was definitely a great time, great place. And, yeah, I need to get back out there. But, COVID kind of messed that up. But we'll be back out there. Stay tuned.
I've heard stories of sprinkle fairy dust out there, too.
I know nothing about that.
As you said, there's just about everything out there. Everything.
A little bit of everything. It's a good time. I recommend it. Expensive trip. You might not be able to pay your rent when you come back, but it's all worth it. It's all worth it.
Word. All right. So now serving, right? Some quick announcements, upcoming shows, teasers, things like that. So we got Volume 2 of Rock Before the Cradle, which is indeed rock music before 1980, the year yours truly was born. I'll be joined alongside the musical talents of DJ ENS and Stella.
Hey, Stella.
Yes, Matt Stella is finally making a return after being abducted, perhaps by a bearded species. Curious about the ways of the woolly mammal. Who knows? I don't know what happened to that dude.
Never know what happened to Stella, but he's back.
He be disappearing, yo. But he is here, at least for this next set. We will see what happens after that. And if you recall, on the last podcast, I definitely talked up Rock Before the Cradle. That was one of my favorites. Hopefully the next one will be indeed just as good, if not better. So definitely tune into that. That is taking place this Thursday on September 30th, 2021, 7 p.m. Eastern. Yes, indeed. What else we got? We got beats. Stay tuned for more shows to be announced. There's also a concept for a video game themed music set coming soon. We plan on debuting it Saturday, October 9th, 2021.
That's going to be a goodie. You don't want to miss that.
Yes, indeed. Definitely excited about that. It's going to be a challenge. So I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do it, but I do believe it's going to be a collaborative set. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be nicey nice.
Well, one thing about not nicey nice. That brings back memories. But one thing about DJ Blaine, he likes to challenge himself. So you come to this radio station, you definitely going to get a lot of stuff you never heard of before. Going to keep you on your toes for sure. So stay tuned, boppers.
Nice drop. See what you did there. I'm going to have to wear a pair of sunglasses my next set.
I got you. 1 of 70. Anyone you want.
Actually, I think I got 2 of 70. I think you donated a couple of me.
Oh, that's right. I definitely did.
Appreciate
see
that.
how generous I am?
Word. Can't donate the sneakers, though.
Nah, that's not
They got the
happening.
same size.
Those won't fit.
So what else, right? Podcasts, of course. We'll keep these episodes coming in somewhat steady. We'll try to commit to them bi-weekly. I think it sounds about right. They'll continue to get into some of our favorite shows, moments over the past year and a half since going live, as well as some of our inspirations, future announcements, blah, blah, blah.
Don't fret. I will be back.
Oh, he'll be back. And drop us a note. So if you like what you hear and you want to hear specific insight on something, be it a topic on our podcast or maybe a future music mix, shoot over an email at blatantradio@gmail.com or hit us up on the chat on blatantradio.com towards the bottom. You can also find us on Instagram, Blatant Radio, of course. We're also up on Twitter. Hit us up on Twitch, of course, when we get out there and do the visuals. So twitch.tv/blatantradio. And then when ENS goes on, it's twitch.tv/everyone needs sounds, all one word. And now for the regularly scheduled program. Blue Thursdays. We'll have a bi-weekly cadence, so every other Thursday, tune in for Mr. Blue. Basically, he wings it. I don't even think he knows what's going on until he hits play. Then he just figures it out.
Just lets it rip.
Always a hey, in a lot of ways, but always a good time. As I said, the always exuberant Mr. Blue never runs out of fun things to say, and his sets are equally as fun.
Cool, unique drops.
Yeah,
Lots
plethora
of drops.
Drop for all y'all Beastie Boy fans. So DJ Ines will continue on with his fantastic galactic music series, broadcasting live from his home studio every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then yours truly, DJ Blayton, continue to rock on Wednesdays as part of the weekly Music Eargasm at 7 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to follow Master Brown on Instagram as JustIncredible1218. He walks the earth with the best of them.
And you can see all the sunglasses on my page, so hit me up. Check it out.
Word up. So in closing, don't forget to subscribe on BLTNRADIO.com to stay in loop. Also, please subscribe to our podcast. We are now on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audio Mac, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, you name it. We got it. We up there.
You got options. Boppers.
Got options. Options in life are a beautiful thing to have. And until next time, always remember to keep the mind open, spirit free, and ears waxed.
Stay tuned, boppers.
Indeed. Peace.